Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all.
Haunted Hayride through time!
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcasts should have a theme song. Podcasts should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
What's up, people of the world? This is Mark Gagliardi from We Got This with Mark and Hal, which you're listening to right now, so I don't know why I felt compelled to tell you that. Here's the deal. Hal and I have been both traveling a lot lately, and things have been crazy, and we have not had a chance to get together and record a new episode for this week. We apologize. We know it's tough. It's to say and to hear. But don't worry, we have some stuff already, in the can that we've got coming up for you. But we thought it would be fun this week to, play some, clips from some of our favorite Halloween episodes with some of our favorite guests. Let's start with, one of our earliest episodes in our first Halloween show recorded live at Le Poisson Rouge in New York. We are discussing Halloween candy. Who doesn't love candy? It's a big part of Halloween. And who better to talk about candy with than a guy who does not particularly like candy, but is a hilarious guy, a great friend, and a great friend of the show, John Hodgman. So here's a clip from our show live in New York with John Hodgman. The topic, best Halloween candy.
Everybody's got candy on their tables. We have candy right here.
Yeah.
Let me begin with a base question for this. Fruit or chocolate feels like,
chocolate.
Feels like a starting point.
Move on.
Really?
What are you talking about? Fruit?
Well, Starburst are a big hit. I like Starburst. I don't want to disregard all fruit.
No.
Starburst is something you find in a purse.
Yeah.
It's not something you drop into somebody's bucket when they spend an entire holiday knocking on doors.
If I were to dress up for Halloween as a child and go to a home and be handed a square of Starburst, I would burn that house down.
First of all, you were handed 2 squares of Starburst in a lovely wrapper. Did we? Oh, we didn't even get Starburst, did we?
Oh, do they come in fun size?
They do come in fun size.
Right,
It's
because
2 of them.
Halloween candy is unique in that it is presented in the fun size, which is the smaller version of the regular candy bar or package, right?
Yes.
So a Hershey's candy bar will be reduced to a tiny little nugget of Hershey's or a Kiss.
A fun size
A
version.
fun size. It's fun, right? It's fun.
It's super fun.
Small things are fun.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's fun.
I'm so glad they do that, and yet they send you out to amass as much of it as possible. So instead of getting a full Snickers bar, you get like 20 full Snickers bars if you're in a good neighborhood. I happen to like Snickers,
Right.
but we'll get to that later. Like the fun size.
Just broken down into 35 fun-sized nuggets,
Yeah.
each individually wrapped. So you're not only destroying your teeth, you're destroying the earth.
Yeah. Each bite is wrapped individually. You have to throw away a wrapper for each bite of Snickers that you have.
Exactly. And you do it alone behind the dump in shame.
You're trick-or-treating wrong.
No, I think I'm doing it the way everyone else is doing it.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Now, Halloween means a lot of things to a lot of people. To some people, it means candy. To some people, it means ghost stories and horror tales. So without further ado, here's a clip from an episode that Hal and I did about ghosts. The topic, are ghosts real? Enjoy.
Personal experience with ghosts. Mark,
Yes.
have you ever encountered a ghost before? Do you believe you have encountered a ghost? And if so, tell me about it.
I have 2 experiences where I have encountered ghosts.
Oh, okay.
The first, maybe it was at a time when I was particularly susceptible to it because I was on a midnight ghost tour through Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
And there was, we're talking about, this one section that had a particularly large number of ghosts and a home where the matriarch of the home was said to haunt the grounds of the home. Then we moved on to a different section of Savannah, or a different area of the same, a different house in the same area of Savannah. And he's telling us a story of a very sad and tragic story about a slave owner who was brutal to his slaves. And I won't get into that whole very dark story, but I turned around, I sensed something, and I turned around and I saw a woman in a black dress, old-timey looking woman in a black dress, hunched over in a garden. And she looked up, looked at me, and vanished. And I was terrified. And I turned around and I asked our tour guide, I said, what does, I did not answer it. It was not a, hey, does she do this? And he answers yes or no. I asked him, I said, the woman in the house across the way, how do people usually see her and what is she wearing? He said, oh, she's usually bent over in the garden wearing a black Victorian dress. And I nearly pooped my pants.
Oh no. That's scary.
So that was one. Okay. Another one, I was 6 years old. I was at the Bijou Theater in Knoxville, Tennessee, doing a play. And, I went up to the balcony to just kind of explore like a 6-year-old does. And I wanted to wander around and see what was up. And, this balcony was the second balcony. It's now where the lights are, and it is, supposedly haunted. And I came out of that balcony, when I was called to the stage to work on one of my scenes. I come out of the balcony and, I push through the double doors to leave. And the double doors open. I walk through. I hear the double doors shut, and then I hear a little jingle jingle. I turn around, and those double doors are chained and padlocked from the outside. So I just walked through a pair of double doors that was chained and padlocked shut.
Oh, wow.
I will give you one more example.
Wait, does that mean you're a ghost?
I might be a ghost.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. But it's cool. You can record my voice. And I'll give you recordings of it, like those bozos that hear oh, did you hear that? Here's the third one.
Okay.
So, this is not a ghost experience I had, but, just an amusing moment. There is apparently a ghost that haunts the bathroom of a bar in Savannah, Georgia. On that same ghost tour, we were told this story. There's a ghost that haunts the bathroom of that bar. And what he likes to do is turn the water on and off in the sink. I tell you this because it is a single person bathroom. Not like you can't be married to go in. I mean, it's a one at a time bathroom. I went into the bathroom and I am peeing, and I have never been more scared or alert in my life. I'm standing there peeing and thinking to myself, the water's going to come on. Oh my God, the water in the sink is going to come on while I'm standing here peeing. I'm in the most vulnerable position right now, and that water is going to start coming on in the sink. So that's the most scared I've ever been when a ghost didn't even show up.
Oh, that's not a ghost story. That's just
it was just
scared while you pee.
Yeah. I said it wasn't a real ghost story. All right. What about you?
Okay. I'm going to start with a story about my mother, who believed very strongly in ghosts. And she also believed that in a former life, she was either George Washington or someone who knew George Washington. So in our house was a portrait of George Washington that just sort of sat on a shelf.
That is fantastic.
Now, I'm not saying I share the belief system of my dear departed mother. I certainly would like to, because that would mean she was around right now. And I know she's with me all the time. Nobody needs to tell me. But one time she was down in Florida visiting family, and she went to, they all went out to a restaurant together. I was not there. And she and her cousin went into the bathroom, and they'd heard there was a ghost there. And all of a sudden, my mother's eyes started fluttering. So she burst out of the bathroom running, saying, "The ghost has my eyes. The ghost has my eyes." Now, Mark, do I think that was a real ghost? Probably not. Probably wasn't a real ghost, but she believed it was. She certainly did. Oh,
man.
And I'm sure she had other stories that I'm forgetting. That's the one that sticks out just because it's the most hilarious one. And
the image of your mom running out yelling, "The ghost has my eyes."
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
My mother is not much of a runner, so she probably looked like a stork trying to escape from a predator. But like not flying, just sort of storking around because she had very long legs and in fact played pinball.
I'm sorry, did you say not flying but storking around?
Yeah, just storking around. You know how they walk.
Right on.
Like
I feel you.
When she played pinball, whenever she was at a pinball machine, she would do the stork thing where she would tuck one leg up under so her legs looked like the number 4.
Sure.
She could not play.
Is that a stork
otherwise.
thing or a flamingo thing?
Both. Maybe it's a
flamingos
thing.
are just pink storks.
Yeah. Take that, you dumb flamingos. You're just a pink stork.
Yeah. Stupid pink stork. Have you been to the Pink Stork Casino in Vegas?
Is that the one owned by Mickey the Stork Casino?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Have you ever experienced a ghost yourself?
I, in college, got a Ouija board.
Oh.
Or had, and not like an old Ouija board, like just a Ouija board.
Like a Parker Brothers.
Yeah.
It was made in a factory.
Yeah, exactly.
They could have just as easily put the Trivial Pursuit sticker on that big piece of cardboard.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're using it. And as you know, or for those of you who maybe don't, when you have a Ouija board, you are meant to very lightly touch it. So you're just meant to make contact with it. The idea is that it will move itself. The ghost is moving it. And it has the numbers, the letters, and yes, no. So we're asking yes or no questions. And I think there were 3 of us. I think that's how many you need. And I kept answering and it was like weird. And everybody's like, are you pushing it? No. Are you pushing it? And the spirit, I'm saying this with quotes because who knows, identified itself as a relative of mine. Like a great uncle, something like that. Did
it know facts about this great uncle?
It had a name that I'd never heard before. And so I was not manipulating it. Certainly the 2 people I knew who they were in college, they weren't lifelong friends. There's no way they would have had this information. And afterwards, I called my parents. It was somebody on my father's side. And I asked like, hey, do we have an uncle named whatever it was? Julius, let's say. And my dad was like, yeah, he was my great uncle. Like just everything that had happened over the course of that session turned out to be true about that guy. Like I was in tears after it. Like it frightened me. It shook me to my core because I had been so skeptical up to that point and then was confronted with something that was unexplainable. It could be random chance. I know mathematically that's possible. But
mathematically, the chances of you picking Julius?
Yeah, or whatever
the name was.
Right. I didn't have that knowledge. It wasn't even something subconscious in me that I was like, oh, that's right. One time I saw a family tree and that name was there. So it stuck with me and then it came to the surface. Even so, why would it? Why would it right there? I wasn't looking for proof. It was more like for fun. Like, let's just see what happens. So
yeah, that's always great when you're at a college party and you're like, oh, this game will be fun. And then you are rocked to your core and can't sleep for 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
And hey, if you're going out on Halloween, you know that there's one very important thing that you have to have, and that is a Halloween costume. And who better to talk about costumes than our dear friend from the Thrilling Adventure Hour, Paget Brewster, who not only has a closet full of costumes, has another closet inside that closet that is filled with more costumes. This is a clip from our episode, Best Costume, with Paget Brewster. Enjoy. So we want to talk today about movie costumes and what is the greatest movie costume of all time. Now, when talking about this, you immediately sent us a list of great costumes. Some of which I want to start with because they were not on this list, or they were they were on this list. I could not find anything about them online. Huh? Tell me about these Wonder Woman 1930s.
No, those weren't costumes. It was my mom and dad were school teachers and bought this house in rural Maine to be near my grandma before my brother and I were born, but the house was haunted, built in 1862, I think. And there was what we called the monster room, which was, it's now been turned into a guest room. It's very nicely put in a bathroom. But it was
a bathroom.
No, the bathroom's all right.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if they smudge, they like wave sage around. But my brother and I found a stack of 1930s Esquire magazines that had, pinup girls, the Petties and the, Elfgren, like, they were all drawings of pinup girls.
Yes.
And they ran some of the Wonder Woman serials. Graphic novels, the comic book.
I thought you were talking about movie serials.
No, this was the first boards of Wonder Woman.
Wow.
Were also released in Esquire magazine.
Oh.
And so that was, in my mind, that was what that's what I was supposed to grow up to be. For some reason, it conflated in my mind. If you find a men's magazine from 50, 60 years earlier, and it has drawings of women in it, that's what you're supposed to grow up to be.
So how do you think that this combination, it seems to have worked, this combination of, the yin and yang of drawings of pinup women and Wonder Woman kicking ass.
It's very costumey.
A combination of both of those. Or do you just saw the Wonder Woman serial panels as more?
No, they were joined in my mind as
one thing,
as one thing, as a representation of what a grown-up woman, because we were little kids,
right? What
a grown-up woman could be or should be, and it's all very costumey. Peignoirs, that's how it's pronounced, right? Peignoir?
Sure.
The evening, the diaphanous evening gown nightwear. Over a nightie, you wear a peignoir.
I love that you're coming to me for this. Like, I'm the one who can help you. I know what you're talking about.
This is like.
I think you know what I'm talking about. I don't think Gags does.
It's like a sheer robe.
Yeah.
Or like a jacket that you wear
with
over.
a feather, or at the arms, and what.
But you could see
that was in all of these drawings of, and also all the pinup girls. There would be Santa costumes. They were all costumed pinup girls. There was, like a firefighter, but it's just suspenders and a hat. And it's a drawing. You're not actually seeing anything.
Did you ever try to wear one of these for a Halloween costume? This is my costume. Absolutely
no,
it's not.
I don't think I've done I don't think I do the sexy kitten or anything like that. I don't think I've ever tried to do that.
What, when you were a kid, did you have a costume collection then? Did you have like a trunk that had, or did you ever dig into the family's old collections and just create looks? Well,
my mom is a great seamstress. She can sew anything. And we would go to Buttrick Patterns and McCall's Patterns and she would buy the patterns and, unfold them. You cut the fabric to it. So it comes with instructions. So she made all of the costumes for my brother and I. But I do remember at the bicentennial in 1976, I was 7. And she made the whole family colonial costumes head to toe. And we marched in the parade in Maine.
That's amazing.
For that 4th of July,
when we finish this recording, do you have photographs of this?
I don't know.
Oh man, I would love to see that.
I don't know if I do.
The bicentennial,
Mom made it. I mean, that's
family.
hilarious.
Yeah.
The whole family, 4 people, she made perfect colonial reproduction outfits for all of us to march
to wear in July.
You guys,
the 4th of July.
Were you guys good guys or bad guys? Were you Americans or red?
We were American. We were good. We were good. We were colonialists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were good.
My mother-in-law did the same thing for herself and my father-in-law. And there is a picture of the two of them in their garb. And again, she's another one who could make anything. The whole family is like superheroes.
Great.
Yeah, she made, so I know what you're talking about.
It's very exciting.
And it seems very hot to do that. How?
At that time of year.
Were you like, I can't wait to take this off and go and be in like shorts and t-shirt? Or were you like, I feel good in a costume?
I do not recall.
Okay.
All I remember from that event is that a picture of me in my mom's little colonial outfit was in the main newspaper. And that was my first brush with fame. And it ruined me.
Yeah, you never turned
Look
back.
what happened. Now I have a room full of styrofoam heads.
What is your favorite costume that you've ever worn?
My favorite costume I've ever worn, I made up for Rob Schraub's birthday. I want to say it was 19 years ago. And I made up a superhero named the Mighty Hermaphrodite, which now is probably completely politically incorrect.
Right.
But I stuffed a pair of men's tighty whities and wore thigh-high white high-heel boots and here's another term everyone loves, a wife beater.
Oh, yeah.
Men's undershirt, ladies and gentlemen, with a padded bra. And then I went and bought an afro and I made a cape with a big H on it. So I think because I felt pretty creative, like I made that up.
Right.
Not only did you make up the costume, you made up the character.
The character.
That involved the costume.
Which is completely politically incorrect.
It was a different time 19 years ago.
I was also in blackface.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. No, I wasn't. I wasn't. I was not.
But you are right now.
Right now.
Listeners, Patrick
Oh,
is
you know
currently
what,
in
though?
blackface right now.
I did want to go to Gorley was going to have, remember Matt Gorley was talking about a James Bond villain themed birthday party? And I bought a black leather 80s belted jacket, and I did want to go as Mayday. I wanted to go as Grace Jones.
Yeah.
Who was on
from
this
A
list.
View
You
to
will
a
be
Kill.
hearing about her later.
And you just can't. I didn't.
No.
Maybe I told Gorley that, and I was not ultimately invited to that party. He may have had it, but honestly, I think she's so fabulous.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. We'll
Yes.
get to it. What's your favorite costume you've ever worn?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it for myself. I made a, this will show my biases. I made a pretty darn perfect Little Tramp costume one year.
Oh, I believe it.
I had a black tailcoat. I got the great big baggy pants. I bought a proper bowler. I got the bamboo cane, and I went to get as many detailed, specific pieces of that costume.
And did you swing the cane and do the
sure.
walk and the whole
Yeah.
thing?
Oh, sure.
Was
yeah.
it for Halloween? What was it
for Halloween, yeah.
Fantastic.
How-
Hal?
Yeah, when was that? Oh, me?
Yeah,
Oh,
what'd you do?
I have two. I did not make anything.
That's all right.
But I used to do...
Collecting items is curating.
That's true. Well, these were just stuff I got to wear on jobs. I got to dress as a superhero once for an industrial commercial for Symantec. And they made me fly. And it was like a cheap looking, purposely cheap. But like I dropped off a scaffolding so it looked like I'd flown in and
God.
shot lasers out of my hands, which was awesome.
Oh my God.
The other time, one of the early ones I did for that company, they put me in a full suit of armor.
Like a real suit
That
of
was
armor?
really
Can you
cool.
even walk in that? Like I've
Barely.
never worn that. I can't imagine it though.
Yeah.
You just barely walk and it pinches everything
Ouch.
because you're not wearing, I was in like a t-shirt under it. I didn't know.
It also
Oh.
wasn't designed for you. Like, there's everybody, there's not like a one size fits all
Armor.
yeah. Like, well, this guy was 5'3", but we're going to put it on you, Hal. Let's see
That's
how
true
it works.
because your
Yeah.
armor would have to have been custom made for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day when they did that.
And mine
And-
was not.
No.
Not at all.
Yeesh.
Now, Halloween is also a time for movies. Everybody loves horror movies and scary movies throughout the month of October. And we were wondering, what is the best classic universal monster film? That's Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Dracula, all those great old horror movies. But before we got to that, we wanted to talk briefly about some of the lesser known horror monsters. And to do that, we sat down live on stage at Dragon Con with Mystery Science Theater 3000's Bill Corbett, Trace Beaulieu, and Frank Conniff. Enjoy. Can we go down the line and each of you name one or two of your least favorite monsters? Just because you and I have been kind of doing this a lot this weekend, Trace will go, hey, here's another crazy one. And he'll tell me some bizarre movie monster that I've never heard of. So
I got it's the one that you didn't know, the monolith monsters. It's basically a crystal that comes out of a comet And its power is when it gets wet, it grows into a crystal and then it falls over and crushes stuff. And it crushes houses. If you touch it, you turn to stone.
What movie is that?
The Monolith Monsters.
Oh, the Monolith Monsters. Wow.
And I think they kill it by getting it in a box canyon, like letting it fall this way and then until it gets into a canyon. How many people have seen that?
That's too many people.
That is,
yeah.
I've never heard of it.
So you're saying that a rock monster's natural enemy would be a wall?
3 at least.
3 walls.
Yeah.
The old science rule: 3 walls to kill a rock. Never forget.
Or paper.
Oh,
Right.
Fair enough.
Right? Couldn't they have just laid paper over the whole thing? That would have solved the problem.
The Army airlifts in giant sheets.
The 501st Origamists are here.
Scissors were tried.
But they kept getting crushed. Frank, do you have a favorite worst monster?
You know, I always thought that the Mummy sucked. As a monster. I mean, why would anyone be afraid of this guy? He's like, he walks really slowly. He's covered in bandages. You could easily like grab one of him and just unravel him and watch him twirl around. And I know that he's unpleasant and not a great conversationalist, but I don't know why anyone would be really frightened by it. Well, you know, maybe initially you'd be a little, oh wow, that guy's completely covered in bandages and gauze. That's kind of messed up. He must have had a radioactivity accident at a CVS or something. But, and, you know, you can easily outrun him. You know, I mean, he walks really slowly, right? I just don't get, you know, why. And I think, too, you know, I guess he's from a more quaint era when that, you know, now, because he was basically a zombie, right? I mean, when you come right down to it, yeah. And now zombies figured out, hey, let's get rid of the gauze, and you know, now they can go really fast sometimes. So I think the Mummy's day is past, personally.
Not even the reboot of the Mummy with Brendan Fraser, because he could turn into a sand monster and shoot beetles out his mouth.
Oh, I didn't know that, because like most of the world's population, I haven't seen that movie.
The presence of Brendan Fraser did not entice you, huh?
No.
Shockingly.
No, but, yeah, I didn't know that he could do, and that's smart. You know, I say kudos to the filmmakers for saying, we gotta give him something else. Besides the fact that he's covered in bandages and walks really slowly.
Shoots beetles? Fine, fine, good. Just beetle shooting.
Well, you've knocked one of the universal classic monsters off the list right off the bat.
Well, I'm saying he's not that classic.
It's tough when you're a lumberer because the scariest thing about you is a limp.
Yeah.
You're like, it's he's across the room. We only have a half hour to get out. What are we going to do?
But you're frozen in sheer terror. I think that's what they were counting on, that to be, you're just stunned that this slow thing is coming at you eventually.
But the Mummy did make for a great Halloween costume for a lot of kids.
Yeah, it did.
It just had a roll of toilet paper.
Damn cheap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was actually, you could say the Mummy was just a man who was TP'd and went on a rage about it. He was killed in a TP.
He wouldn't give out candy,
man.
Bill, what's your favorite terrible monster?
Well, we just did one for Riff Tracks that I can't remember if it was the Incredible Sun Demon or the Amazing
Hideous.
Sun Demon. Hideous Sun
Hideous.
Demon. He was a hideous Sun Demon, and his basic monster thing was that he had really bad burns. So it seemed like a blaming the victim thing. He got basically like reverse SPF stuff on him. And he looked really bad. He just kind of stumbled around because he was in pain, legitimate pain, being burned. And he didn't really have a purpose. He just kind of like shuffled around and bumped into people and scared them because he was ugly until he died. So that's
And he was the antagonist of this movie?
Was that?
He was the antagonist? Like,
Yeah,
he was the
yeah.
villain?
I mean, that's the only one they had. He was basically like a redheaded kid who'd been left out in the Caribbean without SPF. But I think that relates to that guy relates to my larger bête noir in the monster genre, which is just zombies in general. And I know a lot of you guys probably love Walking Dead and all that. I've just never warmed to zombies. They have no personality. They're the whole eat your brain thing seems like, I don't know, a bit of a thin motivation. I don't know. I've never had it, so I don't know. Maybe it's great stuff, like truffles. So
they're sort of like the Jugheads of the monster world.
Yeah.
And they're driven purely by appetite.
Yeah, if that. I don't know what.
Humans are their hamburgers.
That's right. We should.
I also don't like that. I haven't seen the new Fear the Walking Dead, but I've never really watched The Walking Dead. But Fear the Walking Dead, I really resent that title. Don't tell me how to feel when I watch this show. I'll decide if I fear The Walking Dead. Just show me The Walking Dead, and then I'll make that. Don't tell me it in the title.
The original title.
Like Laugh at the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Their original title, Be Bored by The Walking Dead, just did not fly.
Hey, come on.
Some walkers
These
not
are no
happy.
Zombies here.
And finally, here it is, a brand new, well, not brand new. Some of you on the Facebook group saw it, and it is a year old, but we've never released it publicly before. This is our clean slate that we did to finish our 2017 Dragon Con show with our dear friend and fantastic actor and improviser, Scott Adsit. So please enjoy. Are we doing a bonus content?
Yeah, we're going to do a bonus. Ken, will you come up here for a sec? All the way to the back of the room. What we're going to do is double up on mic. So I have my audience mic here. And then we also have an extra mic on the table. So if you have a clean slate topic for us, you can come up here and you can ask us to our faces, or some of you can leave. That's all right, too. We know you have places to be. No, you can go. You can go. You don't have to stay. Did you forget your bag? Oh, you have one. Great. So we'll start it right now. Every once in a while, we do clean slate topics where people send us, the things that might not fill up a whole episode, but are smaller arguments.
Am I joining in this?
Here. You are joining in.
Okay,
please.
Scott Adsit is here with us. We have Ken Plume on the mics. Ken, how are you doing?
Oh, great.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Great. So we're going to take your topics right now. What is your name, sir?
Zach. Oh. My name's Zach, and I'm a bad person because I'm going to ask a best religion type question.
Okay.
Mark or Hal?
Well,
Mark, next.
You know what? We had this. We did this as an episode.
That's right.
This is the April Fool's episode, and it was unsettled because the settling thing was going to be us going to a pub night, like pub trivia, and competing against one another, which still hasn't happened.
That's right. But we will do that right after this. We have our super speed, so we can do it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, Hal won.
Asked and answered.
All right. How you doing? I'm Jace. My question is David Bowie or Freddie Mercury?
Wow.
Freddie Mercury.
Why?
Great writer and amazing voice.
Yeah. Freddie Mercury was my first thought as well.
See, Freddie Mercury wins under pressure, hands down. If that song is a singing fight between the two of them, he wins. David Bowie, though, kept reinventing himself. I feel like Freddie Mercury worked within a genre of music really, really well. I feel like David Bowie sort of kept conquering and moving to different types of music.
Bowie.
Bowie?
Yeah.
Bowie.
Well, only because Freddie Mercury didn't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury would have reinvented himself dozens of times. There was long hair, no mustache Freddie Mercury. There was short hair, mustache Freddie Mercury.
Hold on, wait. Haircuts are not reinventing yourself.
Look, man.
Music. It's got
okay, there's who wants to...
That's why Mark's hair has not changed in 20 years.
All right. Yeah, you're right. It's Bowie.
Bowie, asked and answered.
Best first date activity.
I can tell you what it isn't. My first date ever was a double date to go see Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which I had already seen like 4 times. Was afraid to hold the girl's hand, did not know how to kiss.
Were you giving the jokes away too?
Like you were showing off that you knew what was coming.
Yeah, they're going to say 69.
Best first date activity. I feel like it needs to be something that doesn't require 2 hours of not talking. So I feel like a movie, unless you're going to go out afterwards and talk specifically about the movie or play or art that you saw. For some reason, bowling pops into my mind because it's a game and it's there's a task that you're doing together, but still having a good time. Of course, you have to change your shoes.
Yeah, you have to basically wear like cartoon character shoes.
Yeah.
I like if you've not met before, like getting like a cup of coffee or getting a drink or a meal, something where you sit together. It's not too long in case you guys do not gel. But then if you do, you can extend the evening and add more activities onto it.
That's why menus have courses.
Like a Nobel Prize ceremony where you're receiving.
Oh! Yeah.
Yeah, Nobel Prize ceremony where you're receiving.
Yeah, asked and answered.
Hi, I'm Sushi. Can you classify the following items as sandwiches or not? Hot dogs, tacos, Pop-Tarts.
No, and no.
Pop-Tarts?
No. Is it because there's dough on either side of a filling?
Your lunch was packed poorly.
Well, see, no, I will disagree. I think hot dogs, I mean, while it's great to call them hot dogs and you can picture that easily, it's just bologna on bread. So that is a sandwich.
Oh. See, here's John Hodgman. His argument for not being a sandwich is you don't cut it in half. If I'm not mistaken, that's one of the classifications of a sandwich. And you don't.
But little kids cut their hot dogs in half.
Little kids have their hot dogs cut in half for them by parents who probably want to eat that other half.
Fair enough.
Okay, no.
Yeah. I can't believe Pop-Tart was on that list.
Yeah.
I'm Jace, and Dragon Con versus Comic Con.
I think there's a lot more cleavage at Dragon Con.
Yeah.
That's true.
Shout out to the cleavage out there that just shouted back.
I mean, they're both very crowded.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, Comic-Con would have an advantage as far as crowding goes in that it's spread out around the city, so you can escape the crowd somewhat. Whereas here we're in a 3-hotel habit trail for 4 days. But the habit trail is 3. You have to go outside to get to the other 2, and a lot of stuff is happening centrally to here. I haven't been outside since August.
Well, for me, I spent the month in an elevator this morning, so that would be my criteria. How are the hotel elevators at Comic-Con? Is it like this? You don't know, do you?
We don't know. It's a mystery.
Do you guys know?
Guys, I can answer this one really quickly. We're at Dragon Con.
I think
Dragon Con.
Hi, my name is Samantha.
Hi, Samantha.
And I'd like to know the best way to cook your eggs.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, I know.
Go ahead.
Truffled egg toast, which is boxcar bread.
What is boxcar bread?
Oh, it's a big rectangular loaf of bread that is, and you cut it kind of thick, and then you cut a hole, and you put the egg into it, 2 eggs in the hole, and then you cover that in fontina cheese and truffle oil.
You had me until the truffle oil.
No.
Really?
You have no idea. Some people then put asparagus on it. I don't.
Those people are terrible.
But that'll be the best, most tasty breakfast you've ever had.
Are you a big foodie and home
Only
cook?
about this.
This sounds like an amazing dish. I don't think of that as like an egg preparation, though. That sounds like a full, thought-out meal.
Like an egg dish.
Okay.
So in that case, the eggs are fried or they're poached?
The question is best egg preparation.
I guess they're just heated in the pan. It's not
Right,
fried in
sunny side
oil,
up.
but
It's sunny side up or over
essentially,
easy.
Yeah.
Essentially, and you drop them in. So you would say over easy. Because it feeds into that dish.
Well, I like having an egg that bleeds,
Mm-hmm.
and then dipping. Yeah.
Are you a poached guy? Because poached for me, I like a poached egg because the yolk you still get the bleeding yolk, but you don't get that like layer of wet egg white film on it.
I love scrambled eggs because I'm 3. It has been my favorite meal since I was a child, and my favorite meal has not changed in 40 years. However, I do love over easy eggs, but what I do is I slice it all up, and then I use the toast. I soak the toast in it.
Well, I like
an
egg Benedict.
Yeah,
Eggs Benedict I think
Eggs
is amazing.
It's great, but I like it. Do you like a looser yolk, or do you like it
Looser,
when it's more?
yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
I do too. So I think that loose yolk is a big part of it. All right. It sounds like over easy, or
I think sunny side up avoids the over easy
because sunny side up you still get that film liquid
over
on
easy.
top.
You don't get as much of the white film that you don't like, but you do get a looser yolk.
So the best egg preparation is over easy. The best fancy egg preparation
truffled egg toast.
Truffled egg toast. Asked and answered.
Hi, my name is Brandon. I'm wondering, what's the scariest superpower a villain can have?
I think Cypher's superpower is probably the scariest superpower a villain can have.
The ability to speak any language.
Gross.
Threats. It's terrible.
Asked and answered.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
Could you just raise your arm a little bit for these people? Because they all seem to bend over.
Hi, I'm Hannah, and because we're at Dragon Con, I'm wondering, what is the best Dragon Con hotel out of the 5 of them?
To stay in or to party in?
All categories are applicable here.
Okay.
Guys, we're in the Marriott.
Right.
I checked the carpet. We're in the Marriott.
Well, I think it would be the Marriott for me.
Yeah.
Because it's got the most beautiful atrium. Yeah. It's got the fastest elevators.
Yeah.
When they got nowhere to go and they just go from the bottom to the top, it's a fantastic ride.
Oh yeah. It was the Hunger Games, wasn't it? Yeah. That used this elevator?
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's really pretty. And it's central as well.
Yeah. It's the one in the middle.
And it's where the biggest party is.
Right now.
That's
this
right.
Room,
the biggest party is this room. Yeah. Asked and answered.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, I'm Patrick. During the Gonzaroo, they sang 500 Miles I'm Gonna Be. Mm-hmm. And now I've always thought they said Dadalanda, but it was sung Badalabanda. So what is your opinion on it? Is it Dadalanda or Badalanda?
I don't think it's either.
I always thought it was just da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I think it's that.
So it's a duh sound instead of a buh sound.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the
No. It's definitely if the question is it a duh or a buh, it's a duh.
Yeah, definitely a duh.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I've got a question as an addendum to that. Growing up, I had a lot of Beatle books, and some of them said the chorus in Hey Jude is da 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 da.
What?
And that's just wrong, right? It's nah.
Yeah,
it's not.
It is.
Okay, moving on.
Hi, I'm Zeke.
What's up?
What's up, how's it going?
Good to see you, buddy.
And my question is Brussels sprouts or spinach?
Ooh. Spinach makes Popeye strong. And
yeah,
all children.
I like spinach in a salad. Mm-hmm. I like it fresh. I also like it sautéed.
I love Brussels sprouts though, as like just you can't just dip spinach in something the way you can just dip Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts, do they both smell like farts?
Brussels sprouts
like
absolutely smell like
farts.
farts.
Smell like farts. Where you cook and then you come home and you think somebody's had diarrhea in the living room. I don't know if that's a negative or a positive. Some people like that. It's 2017.
The one who was self-described as eating like a 3-year-old. It's like Brussels sprouts. Bleh.
It's true. My wife she roasts them, which is good. That's fine. But I reach a limit after like 3 or 4 where I'm like, oh, that's enough of that. But spinach I could eat more of. What do you think, Scott?
I'd go with truffled egg toast.
Great. Asked and answered.
Asked and answered.
Hi, my name's Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
I was given a message by our mutual friend Allison Otto to say hello to you today.
Oh,
Hal.
hi, Allison.
And since I know her from the Georgetown Gilbert and Sullivan Society, my question is Gilbert and Sullivan versus Roger and Hammerstein.
Oh. There'd be no Rodgers and Hammerstein without Gilbert and Sullivan, right?
Yeah. But does them being the progenitor make them better?
Well, there's a really good movie about Gilbert and Sullivan.
Oh, yeah, Topsy-Turvy.
Yeah. Is there a great movie about the other two?
No.
All right, done.
Done. Topsy-Turvy.
Yeah.
Hello again, gentlemen. I'm Drew.
Hi, Drew.
So, nerd cred time. What is your favorite, or at least the coolest, D&D class?
Senior year. Ask and answer.
I like warlocks myself because I like a little bit of damage dealing and I like magic use. But lately I'm playing paladin. Yeah, I'm playing a level 5th edition. I'm playing a paladin right now, which is kind of an interesting change of pace for me. But that's what I prefer. Do you play D&D, Scott? Or
I've never played.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, the gasps in the room. Well, no one's invited me.
So the answer is invite Scott to play D&D with
There you
you.
go. That's the answer.
Hey, so a little bit on the Mandela effect. Berenstain Bears or Berenstain Bears?
This is that thing where there's a collective memory that's wrong. Sort of like the idea that, I forget what actor it is, was in like a movie where they played an elf or something. Oh yeah, no, it was Sinbad as a genie, which does not exist.
Right, that was Shaq.
Yes,
Yeah.
That was Shaq as Kazam, as we all remember. Best Picture, 1996. But it's Berenstain. Berenstain. I know we all want to look. As a kid, I was like, "Oh, it's cool. This Jewish couple's really popular writing books about bears, and I'm Jewish, so maybe one day I can write books about bears." So nobody was more crestfallen than I was to find out that potentially they were not Jewish. They may still be, but the name is Berenstain. Sorry,
yeah.
Man. Oh, you seem so disappointed. I'm sorry. It's rough.
Just a little.
It's okay. It's only
The truth hurts, buddy.
Yeah. Enjoy your brand new life. It's a clean slate, tabula rasa.
It means so much to me.
Hello, my name is Joel, and out of the 4 elements, water, earth, fire, air, what do you think would be the most useful to be able to control?
Water, earth, fire. How would you control earth?
Like the ground.
Like
move.
Terra.
Yeah.
Like Terra or Terrax.
The Tamer.
Terrax the Tamer.
Yeah.
There's more. Yeah, the world's 70% water.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Water.
Especially if you can cleanse it.
Glad we could help.
Asked and answered.
Oh, he looks disappointed. Do you control Earth?
I just wanted validation, of course.
Hey, I'm Grace. I teach 8th grade. And I have an ongoing debate going on among my students. I need you to help restore peace to my classroom. What is more important that they learn, math or reading?
Reading.
Yes, I'm an ELA teacher.
And here comes a math teacher. Yes, your question.
Hi, I'm Emily, and first of all, there is a superhero named Glitch. I searched it up.
Thank you.
And then,
Thanks for paying attention to the show.
And then also Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings.
Well, Harry Potter's more accessible, I think, right?
Yeah. I will say right now, I've not read all the Lord of the Rings books. I've read The Hobbit. As books, what I love about the Harry Potter series is the fact that not only does the character grow up, but the genre of the literature ages with the character, which I really like. I'm not saying that to choose Harry Potter over Lord of the Rings, but
like the prequels
is really good. Yeah, the prequels are hot garbage, and then the others are actual movies.
But the prequels go from playing to a young audience about this age of Anakin, and then it plays to I'm not sure who. Certainly not Star Wars fans.
Yeah, I feel like Harry Potter in this one for me as well. More wizards. Yeah.
But does that dilute them?
I don't know, man. An army of wizards, I don't think that's diluted.
Yeah, we'll go with Harry Potter.
Yeah. Harry Potter.
Is that your vote?
This will be our last one, with apologies. It's this one, we're right here, but we're at time, unfortunately.
Hello.
Hello.
I got into a line fight last night.
Sorry.
A line fight?
Yes. D&D 5e or 3.5?
senior year.
What side did you take?
5.
I totally agree.
That's what I think. 5. Why would they say anything other than 5?
Thank you guys very much. Thanks to Scott Adsit. And thank you to Dragon Con. Everybody get home safe.
And that's it. Thank you for listening. We will be back next week with all new material. Many thanks to Ken Plume, our producer, who I know I have driven crazy all week with this episode. Thank you, Ken. And as always, thanks to you, our listeners. We'll be back with new stuff next week. Thanks for listening this week. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi. And don't worry, everybody. We got this.
We got this.
All right. Song is about some books. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, everybody. My name is Justin McElroy.
And I'm Sydney McElroy.
And together we're the hosts of Sawbones, a marital tour of misguided medicine. What does that mean for you, the podcast consumer? Well, it means that you're going to get a lot of stories about how we used to do weird stuff to people in order to try to fix them.
Do you know that we used to think diseases were caused by bad smells? And that we used to eat mummies for medicine?
That's super funny. I kind of like it.
Well, thanks, and we hope you'll kind of like our show, Sawbones, a marital tour of misguided medicine. It's available every Friday wherever fine podcasts are sold, or at its beautiful, picturesque home at
MaximumFun.org.
All right.
The secret is out. I, Open Mike Eagle, officially had a wrestling match. And on the next Tyson Fights, I'm talking all about it. From the rap battles that got it started.
Open Mike, you ain't ready.
Oh, really?
You cold like some spaghetti.
And to how I hurt myself in ways I didn't know I could. That day and the day before, I got so many texts from people who really care about me who were like, please don't break your neck. The only place you can get the full story is on the newest episode of Tights and Fights. Find it on MaximumFun.org or wherever you get podcasts.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.